So I think Nigeria is walking into more problems than we even least expected. Now the news came out yesterday that the IMF warned Nigeria ignore IMF warning from going ahead with $85 billion arrangement with UAE. So Nigeria is planning on borrowing $5 billion from UAE. Period to this time, what happened? Why did IMF warn Nigeria? Let's get into reasons why the IMF warned Nigeria. They say what happened repeatedly is that the IMF has advised Nigeria initially that reduce reliance on borrowing, increase domestic revenue through tax reform. That's why you see that Tinubu is pushing for this tax something. Improve spending efficiency. Very, very good. Ensure any debt is sustainable and transparent, so that any money they are taking, it should be transparent. They should be accountable for any money they are taking. That is the main reason why they told them. That was the advice the IMF gave to them. Now, why would the IMF be concerned about Nigeria? Why are they concerned? Let's jump into it. The IMF concern isn't about the UAE itself. It's about Nigerian growing debt burden. Here are the major reasons. Let's get to the main reasons. One, Nigeria already has massive debt. Nigerian public debt has grown significantly over the past decade. The government spent a huge portion of its revenue servicing debt. So, which means every money that comes into Nigeria is being used to pay debt. Every money that is generated in Nigeria is being used to pay debt. Now, that leaves less money for healthcare, education, road, security, infrastructure. But you and I know that we have money. Yes. What are they using this money for? They are not servicing healthcare, they are not servicing education, they are not servicing our roads. Then there is no road project. Even the ones that are going on, you see that they are even owing contractors, allegedly. Other infrastructures are there, security. We are suffering from insecurity. So the IMF repeatedly argued that borrowing more without increasing revenue creates long-term fiscal risks. Two, debt servicing become dangerous. Nigeria earning revenue mainly from oil and taxes. So that's the only way Nigeria earn money. So if Nigeria is getting money from oil and taxes, which means we are losing. We are losing. Yes. Thirdly, exchange rate risks also. If the loan is denominated in US dollars, the government must repay it in dollars. So which means if Nigeria borrow $5 billion, then let's say in the next few years, dollar rises. So which means that automatically, if our loan rises, let's say they borrow $5 billion today in this 2026, and automatically dollar rises to like 1.7 or thereabouts. That's how our interest rate is going to increase. The exchange rate is going to also increase, which we will be paying more, like almost like times 2 of what we have borrowed already. So it is not something that is helping our economy. You understand? It's not going to help us at all. Now, for future government carried the burden. Yes, a loan may finance project today, but repayment often extend to many years. Exactly. Future administration and taxpayers inherit those obligations. Are you seeing it? Which means even if what Tinubu is doing now is, even if he loses election, the next government that is coming may not see have money to use to fund this government, to fund this country. We may not have money to move this country forward again. That's if any other government comes in, or probably he does not win the elections. Then, fifth, revenue is still too low. Nigerian tax to GDP ratio remain among the lowest globally, the lowest. Then the IMF have constantly advised Nigerians to strengthen domestic revenue rather than relying heavily on external borrowing. Without stronger revenue collection, additional loans becomes harder to sustain. It is the fact, but they won't take the advice because they don't care about the country. They don't care about the country. They don't. They don't. They don't. Now look at why would continue borrowing affect Nigeria more. The first one was the advice. Why is IMF concerned? That was their concern. Now why will it affect Nigeria more? One, reduce higher taxes. Government may need to raise taxes to meet debt obligation. One. Two, reduces public spending. More revenue may be diverted to debt servicing, leaving less for social services. Three, currency pressure. Large external debt repayment increases demand for foreign currencies. Lower investor confidence. If investors perceive debt as becoming unsustainable, borrowing costs can rise. Four, possible credit rating downgraded. Credit rating agency could lower Nigerians' foreign sovereign rating if debt risk increases, making future borrowing more expensive. The other side of the argument are all economic opposed borrowing. These are all the type of things that could affect Nigeria. This is how it could affect Nigeria tomorrow. So basically what we are getting now is that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the GCFR, need to stop borrowing automatically because the nearest future is close. And if he doesn't win the 2027 election, anybody that comes into government is going to struggle to pay debt. Now he came into office as a person, as a master strategist that he is, or that they claim that he is. He would have been able to say, okay, this thing, and this thing, I need to first of all fix them before I start to take laws into my hands. You're coming into government, the first thing you're doing is to remove subsidy that has also sustained the past government. It is you and between Buhari and Tinubu, they are two highest borrowers in this country. In those two governments, what Buhari borrowed in 8 years, Tinubu has borrowed times 2 of what Buhari borrowed in 8 years. Combine the two of them together, you will see that they are the one that are putting us in problem. You understand me? So it is better you're generating money internally. But how do you generate money internally when there is insecurity in the country? When farmers are unable to go to farm? How do you generate money when investors cannot come into the country and be free in the country? These are things that our government need to look into, but they will never look into it because they care about their own selfish interests. They care about their own selfish interest. What is the future of the next generation that is coming when we are owing so much internationally and we are not generating what we are supposed to pay? Don't you know that the borrower is a slave to the lender? Don't you know? They know it, but they won't do it because at the end of the day, they are funding their own personal pockets and personal greed. Wicked and demonic people. Wicked and demonic people. They don't care. They don't care that you want to go and borrow 5 billion. Even after IMF have seen that, okay, what you people are doing is affecting is affecting the country. It's going to bring you down. Instead of it to like, okay, align. But they won't. They care about themselves. They care about themselves and their own selfish greed. Let me like and share this video if you find it interesting. Because this is the condition of your country. As long as you are a Nigerian, whether you are a Nigerian abroad, okay, see they are pushing Nigerians in South Africa. That's how they will send you home one day. God forbid.